on this week's Raider Report. The pandemic won't stop a group of PHS musicians from performing across the state.
Meet another PHS foreign exchange student. This Swiss Miss tells us that a typical school day here in the US is quite different than in Switzerland.
And Connor in the Commons looks for the silver lining with social distancing.
All this and more coming up on your Raider Report. Welcome to this edition of Raider Report. I'm Maddie Diefenthaler.
And I'm Riley Miller. Thanks for joining us today. Now, we're sure you've heard that virtual learning in Pulaski School District will continue for at least 2 more weeks.
Current indicators, such as the number of confirmed cases and positive test rates in our area, suggest that our earliest safe return to in-person learning could be Monday, November 9th. Of course, that date is subject to change if health indicators do not improve.
Let's all do our part so that we can return to normal. Wash those hands, wear those masks, and continue to practice social distancing.
Get those QR code readers ready. We're about to give you another Raider riddle. This time, it'll be a mystery student that you need to figure out.
Before we get to our mystery Raider, we want to give a shout out to Genevieve Ramirez for being the first to respond correctly to last week's Raider riddle. Genevieve correctly identified the Raider mascot as the answer. Nice job, Genevieve!
Now let's see who can figure this one out. Here's the first clue. This PHS senior is a member of the Raider Strong Network broadcast team.
If you think you know who it is, scan the QR code on your screen and fill out the Google Forms with your guess. Stay tuned for more clues ahead in the show.
There's a student at PHS whom we don't want to be a mystery. That's why in this week's Someone You Should Know segment, we introduce you to another foreign exchange student in our midst.
Ariana Ramadani hails from Geneva, Switzerland. She's a senior here at PHS. Ariana says that she's amazed at how friendly and nice people are in the United States. She tells us that in Switzerland, people don't usually say hi to strangers like we commonly do here. Ariana also has a typical school day in Switzerland is much different than what we're used to.
In Switzerland, we start school at 8 and we finish at like 5 p.m., sometimes at 6 p.m. So it's like more long than here. And then we go to home, and some of the people are in clubs, like soccer clubs, because like soccer is a big thing in Switzerland. Like here it's football, but like in Switzerland it's like soccer. So yeah, we go to our like activities and then we do homework.
Wow! A 9 or 10 hour school day? That would be rough.
Ariana is staying with the Trudell family. Her stateside sister is PHS sophomore Charlotte Trudell. Ariana also has a 1-year-old sister back in Switzerland.
Be sure to give Ariana a big Raider welcome and help her feel at home when you see her.
Another way to get to know our PHS allies is to get to know their pets. That's why we're rolling out a new segment here on Raider Report that we call Show and Tell.
It's an opportunity to meet a PHS student and his or her pet. In our first installment, we'll get to know sophomore Eric Sperduto and his pal Griffin, who is a unique mixed breed dog.
Alright, Griffin, sit. Shake. Shake. Other foot. Good boy.
We found a breeder in Pennsylvania that bred Golden Retriever Newfoundland mixes, which is what Griffin here is. When we got him, he was a little bit hesitant to meet us at first, but since it was summer and he's black, he was super hot, so the first thing he did, let him out of the cage, came over, he sniffed us, then he crawled underneath our car and laid down just underneath the car for about 30 minutes while we were talking with the breeders. That's how we came to get Griffin, and he's been a good dog ever since. His father was a Golden and his mother was a Newfoundland. And he, for the most part, he looks pretty golden. He's very lazy. He sleeps a lot, but he's always looking for food and looking for attention. He's a really nice family dog. He is probably the most huggable dog. It's like a giant fluffy pillow. Sometimes I'll lay down next to him, just like put my head on his side, and we'll both just kind of lay there for a while and hang out. He's always there with you, and he's always kind of relaxing, and he always wants to be pet, and he's always there to kind of comfort you when you're stressed. He's fun to have around.
If you have a pet that you'd like to see on our Show and Tell segment, scan the QR code on your screen. Fill out the Google form to tell us what makes your pet special. And who knows, maybe your pet could be the next creature that we feature.
Time now for another clue to our mystery student. Remember, clue number 1 is, this Red Raider senior is a member of the Raider Strong Network broadcast team.
Clue number 2 is, when it comes to sports, this student knows it all. We'll have one more clue about our mystery student before the end of the show. Something that certainly is not a mystery is how talented our Red Raider vocal and instrumental musicians are.
That's right. And although the pandemic is still playing a sour note for all of us, it won't stop a group of Red Raider musicians from performing with others all across the state, with a few limitations. Reporter Lindsay Sequest has more about the Wisconsin State Music Honors Program, which features 8 PHS students.
The Wisconsin State Honors Music Project is several ensembles assembled by the Wisconsin School Music Association that are made up of the best musicians in the state of Wisconsin. Over 2,000 students across the state audition and only around 400 get in. The program is normally held in person, but things were a little different this year. Students sat on a 4-day Zoom call to learn the music and work with others. Along with that, there were activities and a talent show, but that didn't make the program any less of an incredible experience. I sat down with Hannah Dornfeld and talked about the program this year.
I really enjoy State Honors because I'm in a group with a lot of like-minded people. It's just completely different from any choir that I've ever been in my life. Like, these are all people who care about music to the same level as I do, and we all like the same things. So it's really just an awesome experience to have people who think the same way that you do and to come together to make this amazing music. It's awesome. The unique part about doing State Honors Choir online is the fact that we got to meet and personally talk to each one of our composers, which was something that we have done in the past in State Honors, but never on this level. All 3 of our pieces and all 3 composers went in depth with us and showed us exactly what the piece meant and how they thought we should go about doing it in this format. I definitely think people should tune in and watch it because this is something that we have never done before. It's just hasn't been done except for Eric Whitaker's virtual choir. It's insane to see that even though we're all in different places, some of us are like 4 or 5 hours away from each other, that we can still make this amazing music together, even in situations like this. So my takeaway from this is that even when times are dark and everything seems hopeless, we can still come together and make music.
This year, Pulaski had 8 participants in the State Honors Program. Those students are Hannah Dornfeld, Riley Brown, Allison Huber, Ryan Bouchard, Lindsay Sequest, Callie Whitty, Josh Henslin, and Aiden Tingowski. If you are interested in watching the concert will be streamed on YouTube on Thursday, October 29th at 7:30 p.m.
Congratulations to everyone who participated in State Honors Music this year. Once again, that date and time for the performance airing on YouTube, Thursday, October 29th at 7:30 p.m.
Speaking of creative ways to handle social distancing, Connor Heason decided to look on the bright side of the pandemic and was able to find something good that comes with social distancing. Here's this week's Connor in the Commons.
Hi, I'm Connor Heason, and welcome to Connor in the Commons. Now that we're virtual, I have to film from my room, as you can tell. So, I was trying to think of a question, and why not do something about social distancing? I mean, we have to do it when we go back to school. So I was like, there's all these negatives with social distancing. But what are some positives? So, the question this week is, what is the best part about social distancing? Personally, I don't get to smell stinky people, so that's a plus for me. So, let's go! What's the best part of social distancing?
Definitely just like less people in the way.
Giselle, what's the best part of social distancing?
I think the best part about social distancing is getting to spend extra time with my family.
Laura, what's the best part of social distancing?
FaceTiming friends during classes because there really is no schedule, I guess you could say.
Alright. What's the best part of social distancing, Will?
Well, I guess social distancing and, quarantining, all that bit. I think I would say getting to spend more time with my dog for sure.
Alright. What's the best part of social distancing, Audrin?
The best part, I'd have to say, is definitely getting to go on Google Meets with my best friend, Mrs. Heck.
Way to go, Connor, putting a positive spin on something we're all a little tired of dealing with. Thanks!
Get ready for our final clue about the Mystery Raider. Clue number 1. This Red Raider senior is a member of the Raiders Strong Network broadcast team.
Clue number 2. When it comes to sports, this student knows it all.
Clue number 3. He made this epic call during a Red Raider buzzer beater win back in 2018.
Miss! Nardis with the ball! Nardis, bring it up! Nardis! Dribbles! Steve! Yes! Yes! Pulaski wins! 15-49!
If you said Jack Hayward, you're absolutely right.
We end today's show with the sights and sounds of the Pulaski Community Park paths. Enjoy!
Thank you to RSN team members Jack Hayward, Nick Diefenthaler, and Connor Heesen for that calming look at the autumn colors. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in.
Make it a great day and a fun weekend. Stay healthy, Raiders!